Surprise, surprise. What's going on, guys? Today I'm back, and I know every time I post a video it's about me buying a new car, but this is what I do and this is what I love. Today's a special one for me. We bought my dream spec C7 ZR1. Before I show you all about the car and everything that it has on it, I took a few videos beforehand, and this is just to introduce the car and let me explain how we got here. About 6 months ago, when I was buying my green GT500, I found this exact car for sale. Tried to buy it from the previous owner. Market was crazy. Market's still crazy on the cars. He didn't want to sell it. He had it for sale, but he was so firm on it. You know, when you have a car for sale, you really don't want to sell it unless you get asking price. Some opportunities came up for him, and now we own the car. I was literally telling him, like, hey, I'm gonna buy my green, Eruption green GT500. Let's make a deal. I was trying to kind of press him, trying to make a deal happen. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't not fall for the trap, but he wouldn't fall for it. He's like, nope, I'm firm. You don't want it, I'll keep it. I love the car. But now we're here. He was still in my contacts, talked to him for a little bit, and now I own the car. This is my dream spec C7 ZR1, guys. It's red on red. If you guys remember me from my old Instagram days, and we'll talk about it more in the video, red on red is my color combination. I love it. It's just the OG spec for me, Sinister, the OG Sinister spec for me, and this is it. It's a beautiful torch red with adrenaline red interior, non-ZTK car. But let me skip to me picking up the car, and you'll kind of understand what I'm doing to it. So let me skip to that. Running a little late. It's like 10 in the morning, but it looks like he already got it dropped off. And man, it's beautiful outside. If you guys remember the OG Sinister Z07, I said identical spec, minus one big thing that I didn't get with this car, that I'm not honestly that upset about. Carbon ceramics. Obviously, it's a ZR1, C7 ZR1. This is probably like the only car I haven't had in my collection. I've had Demons, I've had Hellcats, Trackhawks, ZL1s, all that. I've never had a C7 ZR1. And you guys remember the OG Sinister Z07, red on red. But it's an auto. You guys have probably seen the manuals are going for crazy money. I wanted one of these. I don't want to spend $250,000 on the one that I had seen for sale. Got this one for a decent price for the spec I wanted. And I know I say this, but I'm planning to keep the car forever. I wanted a Viper, and I told you guys about that, but I ended up passing on the Viper. Because I didn't really love it, and I loved these cars. This is one car I regret selling, was my C7 Z06. But so I had to have it. I already ordered some cool stuff for the car. One of them being a big mod, which is something this car didn't come with, which is the ZTK performance package, which comes with a bigger spoiler, bigger front canards. And that was a $3,000 option from GM when you wanted to option this car. And I paid almost $10,000 to order those parts directly from GM. That being said, I'm trying to make it a ZTK car, considering it doesn't have it, but I'm gonna be getting it fully clear brought on the front, and Hadir's gonna do his thing, getting this thing cleaned up because the paint isn't in the best shape, I'd say. Luckily there's no deep scratches, just some surface swirls, and we're gonna get this looking right. Let's do our first cold start. I'm gonna go take it inside the shop. Conveniently, I'm shipping out a ZR1 to one of my clients, and the driver who dropped this car off is taking that one to Colorado. But let's do a cold start. No remote detected. My phone must be, or my other keys must be doing something weird. Let's put these in the side of the, if you guys didn't know, you can put the key in the side there. Come on. There we go. Beautiful red interior, carbon fiber interior package, which comes with the 3 ZR cars. 10,000 miles, 2-owner car. The guy I bought it from drove it like 1,000 miles, and it originally was from Florida. This car's from Massachusetts. I'm trying to make sure I get this into the shop without scraping that expensive front splitter. I currently have a torch red C7 or C6 ZR1 right here. Let me try to just squeeze it in here. But yeah, first guy owned it in Florida, drove it for most of the miles. Luckily there's no scrapes or chips on the front end. All right guys, I backed it up into the shop, but we're actually gonna go take it to a buddy of mine's shop and do a couple little things to the car before I obviously put my touch on it. Let's turn it on. I think I need to change the key battery because this thing is a little bit low. Come on. This thing definitely has a lot more rumble than like a Z06. It's very similar in the platform. It's even the same casting. That's one of the things I'm gonna do. It says oil change required. I'm assuming they never reset it, or maybe just needs an oil change. But we're gonna go take it for an oil change, and I'm actually gonna do one other thing. But let's pull it out in the sunlight. I wanna check this thing out. Red with the red interior looks so good. This is bringing back throwbacks to my Z06. Needs a good paint correction for sure. One thing I noticed is these vents get a little brownish yellow because of all the heat underneath. Just went to the dealer and picked up, before I drop this stuff, new filter and some oil for the car. I have to do that every time I buy a new car. You got to make sure it's a fresh oil change. There we go. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I obviously needs I think a decent paint correction and ceramic coating. Still debating if I want to do PPF on it. It's like $5,000 for what I've been quoted lately. I don't know if I want to spend $5,000 on it. It's in really good condition. Like even the front splitter doesn't have any imperfections on it. It's in like really, really good condition. And like I said, I'm gonna add the ZTK front canards, a couple other small things. But I'm not gonna go crazy with this car as far as modifications. It pretty much is exactly what I want. Just needs the big spoiler, front canards, maybe some wheels. Maybe I already have wheels. I'm not gonna talk about that yet, but red interior looks good. I may get the seat backs for the competition seats, so that'll be sweet. And yeah, I'm in love with the car so far. Just, I think it definitely needs a paint correction. The guy before wasn't a car guy, and didn't, you know, do paint correction or anything like that. But luckily kept the car in really, really nice shape for 10,000 miles. It's an excellent shape. Let's go head over to my buddy's unit in the same complex and surprise him. I really didn't tell anybody I was buying this car. I was trying to buy this thing for like 6 months. Me and the previous owner couldn't get, you know, to the right agreement. It's funny because I offered him more for the car and he didn't take it because he was trying to get the most for it. And then he hit me back up saying, hey, I'll take your offer. And I was like, oh, it's been 3 months, you know, I'm not interested anymore. But we were able to close the deal pretty close to what I originally had offered him.
Is that a ZR1?
What do you think?
That thing's sick. You just buy it?
Yeah.
Is it yours or a dealer?
Both.
Any event, we're only taking my car or your. Clean though.
Huge shout out to Safe and Nick at Neighbor Racing. They got it sitting perfect. I was over there helping them out, getting the lowering bolts turned. You know, they've never been turned before. So if you guys can remember for you guys a few minutes ago how it looked, this thing is sitting so much lower. We pretty much cranked it all the way down and then we brought it up just a little bit above the bottoming out part, just so it still has a little bit of you know, suspension rake in a way. It looks amazing with the new look on it. This is the first day I've had it out. The first drive, I drove it around the block. They're close to my shop, so I drove it around here to get it done because I needed this thing low. But this thing looks so beautiful. I cannot wait till I get the front canards and the spoiler. And I have some other things for it, but this is the video of me buying the car. I wanted to just show you guys the car, you know. And I have one other thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to include it in this video, but if I am, you're going to see it. Something to do with the interior I was just telling you guys about. A couple hours later, I got a big surprise for you guys. But let's get some gas first. Get the first fill up in the new ZR1. Looks like gas is coming down a little bit too, which is real nice. All right, you guys ready for it? Boom. New competition seats for the ZR1, not even a day old. You can see the old base style seats there. I had to do it. Really wanted the competition seats, and my buddy Chris had to set off his car, and he's like, dude, these would have fit perfect in your car. I also have one more thing to show you guys, but let's go on the outside of the ZR1 and let me show you guys how nasty it looks. I guess you can't really see that well. It's not filled up yet. Look how nasty that looks with the competition seats. And I also had them add the GM Performance intake here. You can see the little, I forgot what they call that, the Corvette logo. I think it's called the Jake logo. So that's gonna add probably a little bit of horsepower. This thing really needs to get cleaned and wheeled out though. You can see the suspension's really settling now. Like, check that out. That's unreal. Check out the back. The back's never gonna obviously settle the same as the fronts because it needs to have that rake, and the front needs to be down a little bit. I'm super stoked with how this turned out though. I love this car already. And yeah, this is gonna be one for the books. I don't think I'm ever gonna sell this thing. All right guys, so the next day here, we have the car out again. I said it's dirty about 18 different times today or in this video. And I need to get it cleaned by Hadir. He's super backlogged due to summertime. Everyone wants to get their car in. So Hadir needs to get this thing in, get it detailed. If you see this, Hadir, come on, man, get me in. I need to get the car detailed. But yeah, this is where we're at with the car. Am I planning to keep the car a while? Yes. I really don't ever want to sell this car. And I mean it when I say that. Unless I find a better spec out there, which really the only better spec I can find is maybe a manual one with ZTK. But I mean, this car in about, I don't know, a couple months when everything comes in is going to be the exact C701 I want. You know, after driving it for a few, I'm not really pressed that it's an auto versus a manual. I have two manual cars, my C6 ZR1 and my Shelby GT500, my 14. So I'm not really pressed on it. It's nice to keep those in the collection, but this is really nice to cruise. And I'm honestly really enjoying it, cruising around, going to my buddy's house, getting those seat backs put in, you know, getting the car lowered. You can see how really low it is. You know, here, the wheel's basically touching the fender in there, you know, right there. But yeah, I mean, this is the C701 of my dreams, and I bought it. Guys, if you guys are looking for any of your new performance cars, or you have a car for sale, you want to sell anything of the average, but primarily looking for performance cars, you know, Corvettes, Mustangs, Camaros, you know, you name it, looking for sports cars, Trackhawks, lifted trucks, whatever it is, hit me up. I own a dealership, Sinister Auto Sales, 248-365-0306, or go on our website. There's a trade-in form. Go on there, submit it. I try to buy the modified stuff. You know, my slogan for the business is buy car guys for car guys. Besides that, guys, I'm out of here. Let me know how you like the C7 ZR1. Thanks for watching.